And you know, you're probably wondering why I'm at the Transportation Museum. Hey everybody, I'm here today at the Hauntworld Educational and Visitor Center, and this is the Transportation Museum. And you know, you're probably wondering why I'm at the Transportation Museum. If you're designing or building any kind of attraction, it doesn't matter what it is, you want to visit as many museums as possible. When you're trying to do something to look as realistic as you possibly can, you know, you want to see how it was really done. And you can see that. So I'm here in St. Louis. You can see all of these really cool old videos, pictures, realistic type environments. And that's what I really like. And we are about to walk through and learn about some of the history of transportation. But more importantly, like if I'm building a subway, escape, or anything like that, get this kind of footage captured so we can learn from it when we're designing new attractions. Look at this old car, chain to drive it. I mean, this is crazy. Look at this horse-driven trolley. And see, look, if you're doing an escape, look at that. This looks like the original Batmobile. 1966, Batman 66, right? Look how it's red and black, and it's got the little flares sticking out. Tell me that don't look like the Batmobile. That's crazy. And look at that. That's what people used to ride around in, if you can even believe that. Wow, times have changed, and I wouldn't mind having that bad boy right there. I like Trans Ams. They're super cool. I mean, anybody who's ever seen Smokey and the Bandit knows. Look at this, like a mobile library. But you know what's even cooler is this freaking vehicle. Who wouldn't like to have this? I can tell you I would. I might be afraid to drive it though. But man, does this bring up memories from when you were a little kid or movies you've seen. It just like brings it all back. There's a lot to learn here. Especially when you look at the Titanic there. And then they got the history of aviation over there.
Yeah, we had to teach the classes to our workers and make sure they understood that that's what was expected of them. We couldn't hide behind
uniform that would have been worn. Very cool. Very cool. There's some more models. Lots of models up there. Look at that cool model down there. Tell me, who didn't have a train when you were a kid? I think everybody did. There's Thomas the Train. I'll tell you what, my dream actually is to get a little bit bigger house and build something just like that. But I want mine to have slot cars and a train rolling around on it. Look at that. That is just so cool. Back in the back in the 60s, the atomic age, all the cars looked futuristic. Look, there's one of the original electric cars right there. That's a solar panel car. Pretty crazy. But I'm more interested in these kind. If you're doing a big theming project, tell me you wouldn't love to have that. Now you could take something like that and literally turn it into a concession stand, a gift store. I mean, I can imagine people selling stuff right out of that thing. That would be so cool. Look at the milk truck. Obviously pulled by horse. Pierce Arrow. Look at that. There's Jay Leno. You know, let me tell you something. I actually went to the Drive-In 66. I've seen movies there. I've gone on dates there. They tore it down and built a modern movie theater. Sad. A Fiero for the people who couldn't afford Ferraris. It's crazy. Mustang. Look at all these old cars. It's crazy. Now, we're coming up to something really cool over here. This is Americana right here. This is what hotels look like back in the day. And this used to be in Crestwood. And I have actually been to this famous motel, Coral. Every room had a garage. They tore it down, unfortunately. Looks like there was a kidnapping there. Oh, and somebody died. But so you can see right here how every motel had a garage. So if you were a bank robber, it was a great place to stay, obviously, because you could hide your car inside the garage. Oh, here's our Batmobile. Tell me that horse carriage doesn't look just like that. And it does. It looks just like it. Can you imagine Batmobile? There's another Batmobile there. Can you imagine Batman back in the horse-drawn carriage days, chasing down robbers? They should do a Batman movie just like that. An Old West Batman. That would be so crazy. Oh, who remembers these? I do. 8-track. I'm showing my age. Cassette tapes. Insane. CDs. People ask me all the time, like, you know, you built all these cool things, you know, dark rides, haunted houses. How do you get your attractions to look so good? Well, when I was in Washington, D.C. installing an attraction for a client, I went to the Smithsonian. But I'm the kind of guy that went through every Smithsonian museum in 4 hours. They say you can't do it in 4 days. I did them all in 4 hours. Let's go check out another space here. Okay, now we're going to show you something really cool. Look in here. This is inside of a train. And if you ever wanted to know exactly what it looks like, you just come to the Transportation Museum. And there's like where they put all the coal. And there would have been where they get the coal. They would shovel it into there. Pretty cool. You know, you almost feel like this is something you can make in your garage. You know, believe it or not, that's like a car. You see pictures back there. Yeah, you have to imagine back in those days, people were pretty physically fit because transportation was so bad. The best form of transportation was walking, then bicycles, you know, or walking long distances to catch trains or boats or whatever. But this is pretty cool. Who wouldn't love to have that or that? I would just die to have that thing right there and put my Darkness logo on the side. I mean, it would just catch so much attention. It was built in 1919. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Check out these like insane trains right here. These are absolutely real. These are so old and so cool. I don't know if anybody's ever done a train theme of any kind, whether it be a escape room, haunted house, maybe a Christmas train, to come out here. And it's one thing to see stuff in a picture, but when you get up close and you see all these bolts, the way that it's welded together, you see all the parts that go into this thing. I mean, Jesus, how much do you think this thing weighs? It's like crazy. Look at these old trains. And they're just all sitting here. Look at that. Look at the aging on that. Look at that. So obviously you can tell it's been painted many times. And look up there, right up there. You see where there was a light so they could see. Taking pictures of this stuff is, look at the aging here. Look at how that's like aged. Look at that thing. That is just so neat. You see the top of that train. It's very cool. I mean, just think of the craftsmanship and that it takes to make something like this. And this is all made by hand right here in the good old US of A. And that thing is really, you know what that thing really is just a big old furnace with coal in it, and it makes steam, and it makes these big old things move. Look at that. See the 4700 up there? That's just like part of the detail that you got to get. And you see the stepping where you can step up and get on the roof. These are just like all the little details. Look at this. Now this is just crazy. Look at that. How many times have you seen like a movie where a presidential candidate or something is sitting on the back of something like this with American red, white, and blue, you know, flags, and they stand there and they give a speech? Who knows? Somebody might have given a speech right off the back of that thing. This is a passenger train, and people would have traveled the country from one side to the other in a train like that. Amazing. So look at that. Holy cow, look at that. You might not be able to see it. Let me see if I can zoom in. There's a ceiling fan in there. Do you see that? There's a ceiling fan. Like, who would have ever thought? Look how old this train is. There, you can see it right there. Right there. Ceiling fan in a train. Holy cow. And you get little details like that, like 256. Unbelievable. Look at this train. Oh my goodness. Who wouldn't love to have that? You could live on that. People like to live in these tiny houses. How about taking something like that and turning that into somewhere to live? And here's an old trolley car right down here. Look at that locomotive. Yeah, see, this is the thing you want to see. These kind of details when you're building. Oh my God, that's like the elephant of, I just wonder how the hell they got all these things in here. And can you imagine, like, having the ability to operate these? Wouldn't you love to see these on city streets everywhere? Going back to that day and age where everything just seemed simple and fun and not so busy and hectic, where you got from one side of the city to the other on something like that. I would. Amazing. Now let's see if we can go look at some other cool trains. And I think we can actually walk on one. So let's go try it. Simulating like a train station. And check this out. Like, if you ever wanted to know what it was like, look at that one. It looks like it's a bus. That's pretty cool. And there you go. If you were on and look, they got the signs up there. Wow, this is so cool. I'd rather travel by train across the country. I think it would be much cooler. All these old trains are kind of spooky. Wow. The history they have, so neat. Now here's a perfect example of something you could build. Notice how it slopes down and how it's done. And look at the patina, the aging, the rust. And I mean, literally, you could build this very easily. Amazing. The detail is just amazing. And it's just all sitting right here. The door. You could literally get car springs and you could make those wheels. It's amazing. You could learn a lot from visiting museums across the country. Whenever you get in these spots, you gotta go check them out. You just have to. Now tell me this isn't cool. Here's where you dine, right through there. And then here's where people sleep. They walk down these little corridors, and on the other side is the rooms. And some rooms are on that side, and some rooms are on this side. Some rooms are smaller, and you can look in there. They got a place to sit and sleep. Some of the rooms are bigger, which is kind of neat. You can sit across, play cards, whatever you want to do, obviously. And look at this. There's a bed. And there's somebody's room. Probably thousands of people slept there and traveled the whole country in this cool train. But if you really want to know how it's done, I mean, and tell me, like, did Universal come here? Look at that. And, like, get inspiration for their Hogwarts train? Like, right there. Look at that. It's crazy. Now, I have to say, this is even crazier right here. Look at the bolts. Look how it overlaps right here. Look at all the bolts. This is just creepy and claustrophobic to walk through, let me tell you guys. Look at the tunnel. Look at all the bolts. And you get to walk through here. I gotta take a picture of this for sure. I gotta remember how that was done. I guess this is where all the crew would sleep, maybe. It's a caboose. There's your heater. It's crazy. Yeah, so check out that old plane. That's an old World War II, like, cargo plane. That about wraps up our visit here to the Transportation Museum. Do us a favor, like and subscribe to our page, because we're going to take you to some of the coolest places. If you're into, like, what we're into, building amusement attractions, building haunted houses, Christmas attractions, escape room, you find the inspiration from things that are real. So the next place we're going to take you is the creepiest cemetery ever. It's called Bellefonte Cemetery. We're going to actually be able to walk in to some of the crypts, believe it or not. And so that's on our agenda. That's where we're going next. And we're going to take you into some haunted houses and a bunch of cool amusement attractions and show you how to make your amusement attractions as real as possible. So like and subscribe, and by the way, follow us on our personal Instagram, which is @Scarefest. We upload a lot of really creepy videos. Until next time, happy Halloween, and make sure you like and subscribe to our page, because we're going to upload a lot of videos for you, and more classic haunt how-to videos are coming soon. All right, until next time, happy haunting.
For scary videos and more, subscribe to our YouTube page, Hauntworld.com.